Messages like this are spreading fast and furious across the country. Trump voters are turning against him as he destroys our economy, destroys our federal government, and destroys our alliances. Take a look at this post right here by a Trump voter. White House has fallen. I never thought I would see the day, and I was an avid Trump supporter. But he went too far with Ukraine. They are trying to fight for their right to be a nation. I honestly thought that America stood for this, but no more crazy times. That follows the meeting between Donald Trump and President Zelensky, where Trump and J.D. Vance attacked Zelensky in front of the world press and blamed Zelensky for Russia's unlawful invasion of Ukraine. Here is a Cuban American's post who was a big Trump supporter. No longer. I supported Trump for 3 reasons. 1, his tough policy against Cuba and Venezuela. 2, because he promised to end the war, which no people should experience. 3, because the previous administration was a disaster. But I do not support what is agreed. He is behaving like a real clown. Which will be the future? United States allied with totalitarian Russia and Europe with communist China? There will be nothing left to fight for. How about this one? A boomer dad learns that Trump doesn't get tariffs. F around and find out. The boomer dad goes to his son. Markets suck. Technology is a wreck. This week, NASDAQ is down by 10%. What's Kyle have to say? U.S. Treasury or REIT bonds? Trump needs to be educated on tariffs and its impact on U.S. consumers and inflation. To which his son responded, Dad, he's an idiot, Dad. You can't educate someone who is categorically dumb. He will push us into a recession, I think a depression, and another healthcare crisis. Another Trump supporter. Trump needs to cut the shit out. Like, I voted for him, and right now I'm getting screwed. Crypto is crashing due to all of his tariffs. He didn't even have the decency to warn us Americans what would happen to our investments from all of his tariffs. Thanks a lot. Not that I haven't been kicked in the teeth enough now to know I'm getting screwed by the guy I voted for. I wonder if he knows what the results are from citizens who just snap because they simply can't take a beating anymore. Cost of living are more than I can financially handle right now, and my entire investments have crashed more than 70% from his tariffs. He should have warned us citizens what was going to happen so we could have pulled out. Now I'm holding bags of nothing that are worth less than nothing. I hate my life right now, and I am so miserable. I can't take much longer. This mother effer is going to force me to a blah, blah, blah. You get the point. Barbara Hamlin goes, I'm going to say it and it needs to be said. I'm a diehard Republican and yes, I voted for Trump. With that said, the hypocrisy the Republican Party is showing is appalling at best. I would never have voted for all that has happened in just a month. I didn't vote for Elon Musk. I didn't vote for the president of Ukraine to get ousted. And I sure as hell didn't vote for half of Americans to be laid off. You literally voted for the guy whose punchline is "you're fired, you're fired." His whole thing is he fires people, right? That's one of his things. He hates contractors and doesn't pay bills. And he hates our allies and loves Putin. That's like literally his thing. You're fired. He hates our allies. He doesn't pay bills. He loves Putin. It's pretty basic stuff, but I guess you didn't figure that one out, Barbara. Yes, I understand bringing jobs back to America, but now the job market is flooded because of how this was implemented. Yes, I understand tariffs, but it's just being passed down to the now unemployed. Yes, I am one of those innocent bystanders that got laid off due to foreign aid, and my heart is broken. Trump administration, do better, Summer Badama writes. Donald J. Trump DOGE subcommittee. I'm an Army veteran, disabled. I have 5 years of government service, but because I changed agencies, my service didn't count toward a new probationary period. I had to start over with the new probationary period because HR rules are stupid. I lost my job. None of us should have to endure this, but especially those who should have protections we've earned. I voted for you 3 times and believe in what you want to do, but this isn't the way. I've been in a bullshit AI job market for months. I can't afford to go back into it. I have a husband who is disabled and children. This is disgusting, irrational, and wrong on so many levels. Grabbing the fresh fruit because it's low-hanging and leaving the rotten to hide in the trees, it's not doing what's right for the American people. The rotten fruit won't go away, and just because someone responds to an email lying about what they did last week isn't going to do shit either. Abby Libby goes, I voted for an administration that would stop human trafficking at our borders. I voted to get rapists and pedophiles off the street. Trump's actions freeing the Tate brothers, who were arrested on sex trafficking charges in Romania with minors, was a stunning betrayal of his mandate. Okay, let's be clear. He didn't have a mandate. Under 50% of voters actually voted for him. 2, Donald Trump's closest friend was Jeffrey Epstein. Trump's all over the Epstein phone logs, depositions, flight logs. Trump said Epstein's a great guy who likes women on the younger side. Trump bragged that he used his beauty pageants to look at girls naked without their consent in the locker room. Donald Trump was found liable for sexual assault. Donald Trump is on camera bragging about sexually assaulting women by grabbing their genitals without their consent. Donald Trump spoke in front of young Republicans a year and a half ago or so, where he said the most courageous thing he did, according to someone in the military he knows, is when he referred to sexually assaulting women as locker room talk. That was the bravest act, braver than any form of military valor. Jeffrey Epstein would find the girls to traffic, or some of them at least, at Mar-a-Lago, like Virginia Giuffre, who Ghislaine Maxwell, who was Epstein's co-conspirator trafficker, would go to Mar-a-Lago, found Giuffre, who was homeless and then got a job at Mar-a-Lago, brought over to Epstein, was forced to give him a massage, and then Epstein then trafficked her. Donald Trump held beauty pageants for teenage girls and girls who are younger than teenage age. Donald Trump wished Ghislaine Maxwell well at her sex trafficking trial. Donald Trump gave the Epstein binder to a woman who wore free Ghislaine t-shirts. I can keep on going, but facts matter. Evidence matter. What are you talking about? This stuff was known. North Idaho, the U.S. Department of Agriculture changes felt in North Idaho. North Idaho's outdoor recreation and agrarian industries will take new form as federal efforts initiated by DOGE. It goes on to talk about how in Boundary County, government agencies own about 75% of the land, where their main responsibilities include managing hiking trails and facilitating timber sales. With lumber producers such as Idaho Forest Group, local farmers benefit from these agencies through environmental stewardship programs and expert consultations they provide. But rapid changes to the U.S. Department of Agriculture and its subsidiaries, such as Forest Service and Natural Resource Conservation Service, have left local officials and agriculture business wondering how agencies and local industries will adapt. And we're talking about massive layoffs. Want to go into the Republican area in Oregon? There's a few Oregon Republican areas. One's represented by this MAGA Republican representative, Cliff Bentz, who he was at one of these town halls that we've been covering. And at his town hall, he said, if you came here to yell at me, I can just leave, he said. A lot of the voters, though, that were there were not like Democrats. They were rural voters, Republicans there who were absolutely pissed. And then this article, by the way, focuses from the Oregonian, Oregon Live. They do great reporting there. They talk about, take a look at this town, this MAGA Republican mayor, Gilliam County town of Condon, 3 hours east of Portland. He penned a letter to members of Congress talking about they're going to lose a lot of jobs because of all of these DOGE cuts. He goes, I see it as a double-edged sword, Republican Mayor Dustin Hall, who voted for Trump. He told the Oregonian and Oregon Live, we all want accountability. Where are our tax dollars going? Is it just an open checkbook? But at the same time, speaking for Condon, we're a small rural geographical area that is dependent on grants. He said potential cuts could ravage his entire town. And in that town, Trump defeated Kamala Harris by a more than 2-1 margin. And the U.S. Department of Agriculture is one of the biggest supporters of the farmers in that town, who subsist off of that. But now they are getting screwed. Who's also getting screwed? People in the villages who voted for Trump, the villages in Florida, because the village's VA clinic is cutting benefits to veterans. This letter to the editor in the Village newspaper talks about how the person at their VA clinic was like giddy with glee about some of the stuff that they were cutting and some of the veteran community care services. Bye-bye, because one of the people who are being hit the most are veterans. Does that shock you, though? Donald Trump called veterans suckers and losers. Donald Trump took 5 bone spur deferments to avoid the Vietnam War. Donald Trump attacked war heroes like the late great Senator John McCain. Donald Trump loves Putin. Donald Trump hates America. I mean, he does. Just his actions objectively. I mean, he's doing Putin's talking points. Elon Musk, who's running the government, said that America needs to leave NATO. I mean, we've got the post where Elon talks about leaving NATO. How a veteran can support this guy requires such mental gymnastics that I cannot understand ever. Take a look at this town in South Dakota. Federal cuts in Condington County, farm service agencies, a ton of jobs. A farming county that voted just shy of 70% Trump loses its farm services center, which connected farmers with government programs right before the planting season begins. How about the epicenter of Trump support in Georgia? 66% in favor of Trump in 2024. They're not going to be able to sell their peanuts as part of the USAID contract that was used to help starving people. And I think even more depressing than what's going to happen in that Republican area are the people, first off, like, this food exists. These peanut supplements are sitting in warehouses that were supposed to go to starving people in Africa and starving people who are about to die, and existing contracts are being canceled. Why? Because Trump hates contractors and likes to see innocent people die. So people are going to die now because businesses are going to get screwed and have to fire people and lose their jobs as Donald Trump guts these essential contracts. This is a MAGA meteorologist right over here. Kilgore is this guy's name. And he's pissed because of the National Weather Service being gutted and the NOAA being gutted. We have multiple chances for super tornado outbreaks through the middle of March. Now is not the time to carve up the NWS, the National Weather Service. We at Team Dominator have always been huge supporters of our friends at the National Weather Service. Even I cannot make a forecast without their valuable data and forecast model output. Please contact your representative in support of NWS. Remember those missed tornado warnings in Oklahoma in November due to the office being short-staffed? These problems could become more widespread with the firings. They will become more widespread with the firings. I mean, here's what is it, with you? What is it that you've been so immersed and deceived by the manufactured rage algorithm that you MAGAs got so pissed off about what a 9 transgender athletes in the NCAA, a volleyball player at San Jose State. What else are you mad about? Pronouns or something? What the hell is bothering you so much that you literally voted to destroy yourself and your life and your family? You voted to destroy yourself because of something that wasn't impacting you ever. And now you still have some nuance, right? Like, even though I'm reading these people who regret it, they're still like, but only if I'm the good one, they're the bad ones. Like I'm trying to understand in their mind how. I mean, look, you effed around, you found out the leopards are eating your faces. The problem is that a lot of us, tens of millions of us, didn't vote for this. You voted for this, you're finding out. But we knew this was going to happen who were opposing Trump. We knew that he was a failure of a business person, that he ran most of his companies into the ground and went bankrupt. I could look at Trump's own financial statements in connection with Trump Media, which lost $400 million and only made $3.7 million in revenue and lost $400 million, where it talks about this business went bankrupt, that business went bankrupt, this business, like 5 businesses went bankrupt, 10 companies or so that he licensed his name to right around that went out of business. He doesn't pay contractors. Like, this stuff was all there. And you were riled up because he told you that Haitians who were actually helping revive a town in Ohio were eating cats and dogs. Like, are you that dumb? I mean, serious. I'm not trying to be rude. Like, you think that stuff like the oligarchs are now eating your lunch because you were worked up about a fake story about Haitians eating cats and dogs, or a volleyball player in San Jose State who's not even a good volleyball player. I'm sure she's fine, but like, wasn't like, the Olympian or something. I don't know. Explain it to me. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.